Okay, I've got this OWON oscilloscope. This is a single channel oscilloscope. I have had this one for about 8 years. This is 2025, and I bought this one back in about 2017. There's your model number. I did buy it off of Amazon for about $214 back in 2017. Nowadays, it's probably more along the lines of about $260, $270, something like that. It is a single channel. And all right, so here's your port, your B and C port for your oscilloscope probe. Of course, you have your connections right here for your multimeter, right? And if you're measuring small amperage loads here, you want to use your negative, and then those are your positives for your amperage. And I've never done that with this this multimeter, but that's how it works on any type of multimeter like this. You've got one port here for charging, and then you've got 3 ports here that I have never used in the last 8 years. Communications, USB, and host. Never used them in the last 8 years. There's one on the side here as well. Don't know what it is, have not used it. Got this little stand, to help hold it up, which, I do use that every now and again. So we'll use it to, help keep it upright. So here's your power button. So you cannot just push it in. You got to push it and hold it until it illuminates, and then you can let go of it. And then it takes a while for it to cycle through. You can hear relay kick on. And then it takes a little while for it to cycle through, about 5-10 seconds. And now it'll say press any key to continue. I have yet to find the any key on here. So you just push any, you can push any button to cycle through the next step, or you can just let it time out just like it did. So now it's on the oscilloscope function. Now if you want to measure a voltage, you hit this. Here's the digital multimeter or oscilloscope button. So you just push it if you want to go to the multimeter section to measure voltage. Okay. Now you can see we're on DC voltage. All right. Now, right here, your volts. Okay. So that's your amperage. Plug the multimeter, test leads into the correct position, blah, blah, blah. Press any key to continue. A voltage, resistance. So you can tell I do not use this for voltage readings very often. Okay, so you hit the set button to swap in between AC and DC. Right, to read the voltage. So it's got the cool little analog meter, but it's also got the digital readout here. There's your AC voltage, there's your DC voltage. Your resistance. You got your impedance readings here, or your resistance readings, I should say. So yeah, I don't use this meter for that. I bought it specifically for the oscilloscope function. So mainly I use it for the oscilloscope. So let's get into that. Let me put the phone on the stand and adjust it to the correct height. And then we can zoom in. Okay, well actually let's zoom out a little bit. That should be good. I'm going to turn the radio on. And I'm going to connect the probe leads to the amplifier output. All right, now I'm going to turn the amplifier on. Now I've got the amplifier gain all the way down. Got the volume on 50. I'm going to unpause the track. Now I don't know if you can see. Now I'm going to pause the track. You see how the line is steady. Now I'm going to unpause the track. Now I'm going to set the gain. Okay, I'm going to set the gain on the amplifier. Now, I'm at the maximum set point here. Now I'm going to hit the auto button here. You can hear the relay kick in, and you can see it automatically set the time base and the voltage on the screen. So now if I want to manually adjust the voltage on the screen, right here on the channel setting button here, you got an up arrow and a down arrow. All you got to do is push up or down, and you can manually set the voltage on the screen. Your time base, right here on your oval button here, it says option in the middle. Right here on your oval buttons, your left and right is going to be your time base. Every time I hit it, it adjusts, you know, how many waveforms are on the screen at one time. All right, so if you want to, you know, zoom in on the waveform so you can like really dial it in really specifically, then I mean that's where you need to be, and that's how you can do it. But as you can see, you know, it has a lot of detail. You can really zoom into how specifically that you want to dial this amplifier in, which it really honestly does not matter too much. All right, so right there is like really, really hard clipping. And right here is really, you know, right here is kind of soft clipping. As you can see on the top part of the waveform and then the bottom part of the waveform. And then right here is kind of really smooth all the way around. So if I just hit the volume up and down on the radio, here's one click down. Here's one click back up. And then here's one click up into clipping. And then one click back down to where we set the gains on the amplifier. So as you can see, it's, you know, it's not really detrimental to get really specific on how you set the gains, because one click will set your amplifier into clipping pretty daggone hard. So let's get into this, some of the settings here. Like I said, I've had this oscilloscope for about 8 years now. And I really, you know, once you start using an oscilloscope and you're using it for one specific purpose, you don't really make too many adjustments. So you hit the channel setting button, and you can see you've got your. And one thing I do not like about this is you see how fast that the screen exits out all by itself. It automatically exits. So hit the channel setting button, and you know you go to your AC coupling. There's your ground, DC, AC. The channel can be on or off. You know, I don't even know why they would have that on a single channel oscilloscope. But then right here, your probe, you can set, this will go up to a 1,000 times probe. It says a 1x probe, 10x probe, 100x probe, 1,000 times probe. So we do have the 100 times probe on here. So that's where we're going to have it set. So we have the wave inverted on or off. So we're going to have it off on the inverted. Now you can also, you know, you don't have to hit the channel set button. You know, you can hit these buttons and it will automatically come up to this screen. Okay. You have a copy button here. You have a light button here. You know, it just scrolls through the light settings. Copy button here, it will, you know, the waveform on the screen, you hit the copy button and it will pause on there. Right now we're on the 1 kilohertz. So let's go back to there's the 40 hertz. So we can copy it. All right. And now we're paused. So now I think the copy, if saved that waveform onto a file or onto a section on here, and then you can transfer that to a computer through USB, probably on this side port. Never done that, but that's an option there. So let's go. Let me see, vertical 0. Okay, so this has nothing to do with your gain setting or anything, but if you see how the waveform goes up and down on the screen when you hit the up and down buttons here, if you hit the vertical 0, it automatically sets it back to the 0 line right here in the very middle. Which, you know, that's useful on other aspects of using an oscilloscope, like for other measurements, but not for setting amplifier gains. You have your run stop here. Okay, so now it's on the stop feature. I'm going to pause my head unit, so there's no waveform really on the screen, but it captured the waveform on the screen because I paused it on the screen here. I hit the stop. So now I'm going to hit the this run stop button again, and you see it is zeroed it out because I have the head unit paused. Now I'm going to unpause my head unit, and now it came back up on the screen, the 40 hertz. So see, what else do we have on the options? Oh, there's a whole lot of stuff here. What, you know, a couple of the main things is right here, the voltage right here on the screen. As you can see, where it says 50 volts here. If I hit the up and down arrow, the up and down arrow here on the right here at the channel setting, and it will adjust your voltage on the screen. So if you have a really strong amplifier, and then, you know, you can set it at a higher voltage level. If you have a weaker amplifier, so like if I turn this amplifier down, so let's say if I have just like a little bitty 25 by 2 amplifier or something like that, and I want to use this oscilloscope with this same probe, then I can turn the voltage on the screen down to where it needs to be, so I can make the adjustments. And then of course, if I have a big amplifier, then I can turn the voltage up on the screen, to match, so I can really dial it in to get the cleanest power out of the amplifier. But so all in all, this oscilloscope right here is a very good oscilloscope. Okay. Not only is it an oscilloscope, but it is a multimeter, DC and AC, and of course resistance. You can measure a lot of different things. It's not just an oscilloscope. You can measure quite a few things, but I mainly use it because I have a lot of different digital multimeters laying around. So I keep this one set to oscilloscope mode. It's a very good oscilloscope. It's a very good digital multimeter. It is a little bit pricey, but again, you get what you pay for. I've had this thing for about 8 years now. I have not had any issues out of this model whatsoever. 0 issues. It's got a color screen. It's got a pretty decent sized screen. Let's compare it to that little pocket scope. Okay. So as you can see the difference in the screen size. This OWON did come with a carrying case. And it's got a compartment on the front that unzips, and there's the probes, that you can use for the voltage readings. So let's do that here. Here's your positive, and here's your negative, and we're going to put this on the DC side. So right here we've got the negative and the positive. So right now we're at 14.34. Now let's see what happens when we reverse the leads. We have a negative 14.34. And let's put them back the correct way. 14.34. Okay, now let's go AC. I'm going to reset this track and unpause it. And again, we've got the waveform right here. So now we're going to go voltage AC. And we've got 80.7, 80.6, 80.7 volts coming out of the amplifier. Okay. So, it's not just an oscilloscope. It is a digital multimeter as well. I just generally do not use it as a multimeter because, like I said, I've got several different units, multimeters, digital multimeters laying around. I probably got 6, 7, 8 different multimeters laying around. So I have no real use for this one to be a voltmeter. So I keep it set on the oscilloscope setting. But anyway, just figured I would share this. I do recommend this OWON And again, there's your model number. And it is on Amazon. That's where I bought mine several years ago, back in about 2017. All right. And I will say OWON does have a dual channel oscilloscope, just like this one. It looks just like it, except it has 2 channels on the oscilloscope instead of just 1 channel. But it's quite a bit more expensive. But anyway, so this is the OWON HDS1021M-N. It's a single channel oscilloscope / multimeter. I really like it. I've used it for the last 8 years. 0 issues out of it. 6 thumbs up. That's about it for this one.